All right, just when you thought the coaching carousel couldn't get any crazier, we now just got breaking news that Sean McDermott has been fired from the Buffalo Bills after 9 seasons. This is coming after the heartbreaking loss against the Denver Broncos, and heartbreaking losses have become a trend with the Buffalo Bills under Sean McDermott. Whether it was last year with the fourth down conversion that was overturned because of the ball placement, or losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in 2022 with 13 seconds left and not having the chance to score in overtime, or in 2024 where they missed the field goal against the Kansas City Chiefs. Bills just could not catch a break in the playoffs and just found new ways to lose in the most chaotic fashion. And after a while, you just have to move on from a guy when you're just not able to get over the hump, especially when you have a QB like Josh Allen, who is definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And when you got a guy in his prime still, you want to get the most value out of it as possible. And they felt like they weren't getting it with Sean McDermott. And I understand that because after some point, you got to move on from a guy when you're just not able to get over that hump and you make it to the Super Bowl, let alone winning it. As for Sean McDermott's future, I'm sure he'll get a head coaching job somewhere this season or next season. I think the Baltimore Ravens could be a good landing spot from him. There's not many other jobs that are really appealing. I mean, maybe the Tennessee Titans with a young Cam Ward, or maybe the Las Vegas Raiders having the number one overall pick and building around Fernando Mendoza. But there's not any other teams I really see Sean McDermott going to. I think he either wants to go to a team that's contending or a team that has an intriguing quarterback prospect. As for the Bills, like I said, understand this firing, but the one thing I don't understand is why they're keeping the GM, Brandon Beane. And not only they're keeping the GM, promoting him to president of football of operations, which is bizarre to think about. And this guy is just pretty much failing upwards. I mean, since 2018, he's only drafted 3 Pro Bowlers. And yes, drafting Josh Allen is a great pick. I mean, he's a franchise quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he hasn't really done anything besides that. I mean, he's made some questionable free agency moves. I always look back at that Von Miller signing that he gave him, a 7-year deal for $120 million. I know only $55 million of it was guaranteed, but at that point, Von Miller was 33 or 34 years old, and you're paying that much money for him. It was just kind of a head scratcher. Not to mention the drafts he's had recently have not been great. Dalton Kincaid's a fine tight end, but when you draft a guy in the first round like that, you're hoping to get a little more production. The Keon Coleman pick, too, has not really worked out well for them. And I didn't really like that move either. I don't know why you were trading out of the first to get a guy in the second round that you could have gotten the first and have an extra year on his contract instead of paying him earlier, especially when you don't have a lot of cap space because Josh Allen's making so much money. And just what they've done in free agency recently has not been very great either. I mean, they found a good replacement for Stephon Diggs. I mean, they had Amari Cooper, who was okay for them last year, but this offseason they brought in Curtis Samuel and Brandon Cooks in the middle of the season and brought back Gabe Davis for fun. And those signings were okay. Like, they had some success with them, but the Bills just don't have anything elite on the outside. And this team still continues to be very Josh Allen reliant. They were last year, and they are again this year. I mean, I know James Cook's a very good running back, but even he has flaws. I mean, he had 7 fumbles this season. He led all running backs. And I don't know if there's much hope for the Bills going into this offseason. They don't have a lot of money to play with, so they can't really make any big signings in free agency. This is not a front office that's really aggressive and makes big trades. Besides the Stephon Diggs trade, they haven't really traded any other big-time picks like a first or a second for more talented guys. The guys they do draft or bring in, they don't really bring much value to the Bills. Very likely this is going to be a similar roster to last season, and they're just going to ask Josh Allen again to be Superman and carry this team. If you're going to fire Sean McDermott, I say fire the GM too, because they were brought in together, and the GM has done a worse job than Sean McDermott. I thought Sean McDermott did a pretty good job coaching this year with all the injuries the Bills had and the lack of talent on the offensive side of the ball. I thought it was one of his better coaching years. But now they're just going to keep a GM who has created a lot of the problems that the Bills have. And I don't think, if I'm a Bills fan, I'm feeling very optimistic about it because you still have one of the biggest problems in your organization, which is the GM. As for head coaching candidates go, I think they're going to bring in Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, and elevate him as head coach. He's had success the past 2 years as the Bills' offensive coordinator, and I think they want to go an offensive-minded guy this time around. I don't see them going defense again. Maybe they go Clint Kubiak in Seattle. Maybe they even bring in Mike Tomlin just because of his tenure as a head coach and his success that he's had. Or they go Mike McDaniel, perhaps. There's a couple of good options for the Bills. But again, you're still going to have a lot of the same problems with this team. No matter who you change at head coach, if you still have the guy at GM who has not done a good job with this roster. It's going to be a real interesting offseason for the Bills, and hopefully they can turn some things around. I hope Josh Allen can get some talent around him and have more success. But this has just been a crazy offseason so far for a lot of teams. A lot of coaches being fired, new coaches being hired. I haven't seen this much coaching movement in a long time. It's just been real crazy. But for now, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more football content. Peace.